halfway through Dr. Cossack's Citadel, so let's see if we can keep the momentum going in Stage 3, which contains a Mega Man first, believe it or not. We're back on the outside once again, but this time we have an auto-scrolling level. The first in Mega Man history, believe it or not, so that's pretty cool. What's not so cool are these guys. These are Birees. They don't do much other than spin around a platform trying to shock you. We also have the return of those cannons, which are called Picado 24s. But, yeah, we're off to a great start, aren't we? Alright, let's try that again. As I was saying, the Picado 24s are fairly difficult because it's tough to know when they'll fire. You can't really predict their attack patterns as well as you can other enemies. Speaking of which, does the Rain Flush work on them? Yes, it does! I completely forgot about that! And yeah, I'm gonna need to refill that Rain Flush. I'll also want to refill the Dust Crusher because that's going to be important once we get to Stage 4. And talking about Stage 3, it's not that difficult. The only thing that's tricky are the sizes of the platforms. Sometimes they can be very, very small, which makes landing on them a real challenge. Let's refill the Rain Flush once again and move right along. There are quite a few tricky jumps you have to make in this stage, so I guess in that respect, it is quite challenging. And it's the return of Jumbig. Oh, yeah. I got a bit of a thumping there, but I'm fully healed. Thank you for being so generous with health. Okay, it's the return of Garyobies, as well as the return of Togaheros. Now, in order to deal with these guys, I'll have to use the Pharaoh Shot. Easy peasy. So let's climb them up and continue. We've got another auto-scrolling level, so once again, look before you leap. I have to say, this theme is not quite as good as the first one, but it's still good in its own right. These platforms can be rather annoying. When you stand on them, they sink. When you don't stand on them, they rise. You have to get the rhythm down, otherwise you're going to be rocketing off to oblivion. Also, it's the return of the Ring Rings from Ringman's stage. So I'll need to handle this with a little bit of finesse. And, oh, I actually didn't think I was going to make it. So far, this run is going much better than the first one. Make sure you position yourself in just the right way so you'll land on the next platform. For this reason, you want it to be slightly higher than the previous one. And yeah, that's a really tough section because you could get squished by the wall. Now right here is an E-tank that can be a little difficult to get. And in order to get it, you'll need to use the balloon adapter. And there we have it. One balloon, one slide, and we are good to go for the boss. You'll want to have the Drill Bombs equipped for this one. Say hello to the Cockroach Twins. They walk on the ceiling and shoot at you with their diagonally mounted cannons or their big one. Yes, I said there because there are two of them. The best way to deal with them is to hit them with the Drill Bomb and detonate it just before... Oh! Well, that's it for me. Yeah, you'll need to stay on those three platforms, which can be very, very difficult. And unfortunately, we got pushed back quite a ways, all the way back to the second auto-scrolling section. But as I was saying, Using the drill bombs against them can be rather difficult because you need to detonate them just before they come into contact with the enemy. Does a little extra damage. So you have to hit the fire button and then hit it again just before it hits the enemy. And because the drill bombs move so fast, it can be rather difficult to get the timing down. But the biggest challenge in that fight is staying on the 3 platforms. It's always better to get hit than it is to fall in the spikes. And unfortunately, E-tanks don't help with death spikes, and that saddens me. I didn't use too much energy, which is good. So let's try this again. I guess I really shouldn't be concerned about taking hits because I do have a full stock of E-tanks. And as I mentioned before, he can either shoot straight down or can shoot diagonally. I'm sorry to say that future castles in the Mega Man franchise didn't really have a lot of creativity because there's no doubt in my mind that Dr. Cossack's Citadel is pretty creative with its resemblance to St. Basil's Cathedral and how it looks on the inside. Now this one is a lot trickier because it can walk around the entire room and it can fire larger shots. Also, when it attacks with its diagonally mounted cannons, it fires 4 shots instead of 2. Nevertheless, we're almost done here, and that is it. Stage 3 complete. That was a lot trickier than I thought it was going to be, but the real challenge still lies ahead. The good news is I didn't have to use any E-tanks, although I'm probably going to be using them in spades in this next stage. Dr. Cossack's Citadel, Stage 4. But is it really a citadel? Because it looks more like a castle to me. Interesting fact, if you rearrange the letters in the word citadels, you get dialects. A little anagram fun for you. Stage 4 looks really cool. I mean, we've got the stars in the sky and we've got the moon. It looks awesome. Let's go ahead and use those weapon capsules right there. And no, I don't want to use the rush jet. I want to use the rush coil. Because I pretty much used up all of my drill bombs in that last fight. And we're going to need them for a future boss fight. And let's refill... No, I didn't want to refill the rush coil! Ugh. I didn't press that pause button quick enough. One rain flush can take both of the picados out. And I think we might be encountering new enemies here. Then again, maybe not. No, on second thought, all enemies that are encountered in Stage 4 are ones we have seen before. So I'm still running low on those drill bombs, and that E-tank won't help me. Gotta keep my eyes peeled for any weapon capsules. Hello, Mr. Jumbig. Goodbye, Mr. Jumbig. Now this section can be a little annoying because the Birees are running around in cramped spaces. So pick and choose when to slide. Now, these baton... Oh, awesome! That is just what I needed, a nice extra life. Now, as I was saying, there are 2 different paths we could take. You could use the drill bomb, but I won't, because I'm running low on energy, so I'm going to take the long way. Both paths are of equal difficulty, but right up here, we have the helipons that appeared in Drill Man's stage. And guess what? It's also the return of the up and downs. Okay, I take back what I said. The regular path is the harder of the 2. But, on the bright side, I do have an extra life. And there we go. How many lives do I have? 3. Okay, I can live with this. I can live with this. This is nice. Yeah, it is slightly trickier to go down this path, but you do get better rewards, I would say. Take the first path if you want an extra life and some weapon power. Take the other one if you want E-tanks. Plain and simple. Now let's go ahead and wire on up there to refill more of the drill. Never mind. Let's use the rush coil again. And this time, I'm not going to How did he fall through the floor? Okay, apparently I'll need to use the wire adapter regardless. Alright, finally. Drill bomb's refilled. And, I thought that shield attacker would be a little higher. But no worries. I can just slide under that one and continue. Okay, this one did appear a little higher. Oh, that's very nice. So now the drill bombs are fully restocked. Excellent. So charge up the old Mega Buster. Wait for him to show his back. And, okay. Apparently it takes an extra hit to destroy one of those shield attackers. So I'm doing pretty well so far, and we're actually coming to the end of the stage, which is nice. Now be prepared to use a lot of E-tanks, because this next stage is rather difficult. And I'm going to use the wire adapter to not get up to the ceiling. Okay, what is wrong here? There we have it. Yes. Let's restock the Dust Crusher because that is going to be our weapon of choice against the good doctor. And I mean that quite literally. All right, Dr. Cossack. Let's do this. He is in a giant claw machine called the Cossack Catcher. And he has 2 attacks. He can shoot at you with his cannon, or he can grab you with that claw of his. Getting grabbed by that claw hurts. He only needs a couple of hits with that claw in order to take you down. And I am not doing a very good job right now because this uneven floor can actually make things quite difficult. It should be worth noting that if you are in the lower section, he will lower himself more, and then you can jump to the higher platform in order to shoot at him a couple of times. The Dust Crusher is his weakness. I have no idea why, it just is. But the bottom line is, don't get grabbed by that claw. And there we have it! But wait, what is this? Please, Mega Man, don't! My father is not really evil. Dr. Wily took me hostage and forced my father to fight you. Please, Mega Man, don't hurt my father anymore. Oh, Kalinka. Yeah, a bit of a lag. But, not that big of a deal. You want to see a big deal? Father. Mega Man, forgive me. There's the big deal. Who'd have thunk it? You betrayed me, Proto Man. I'm gonna break you, Mega Man. To be continued.